Hello, this is Laura Rose, and I just put together a set of lessons learned for our practice mastermind group. Just a quick review of our goals. Hey, this is Laura Rose, and I just put together some lessons learned for our practice mastermind group. I hope you enjoy them. A quick review of our goals. We agreed to use this time together to create our own individual business mastermind group or group coaching events. We wanted to use this time together to pull all the pieces together, practice those pieces, roll out our individual programs, and then eventually make money off of it. We agreed to a 3-month mastermind commitment. We each devoted 3 months of free leadership to the group. The agreement was that each of us would bring some techniques, our expertise, our fellowship, and any worksheets or expertise to the group so that we can share and create our individual mastermind experience together. We had a specific and reasonable goal, which was to create our own individual business mastermind group. We had tangible results. At the end, we wanted to roll out our mastermind group, and everyone had the same return on investment in mind, i.e. to make money in our business with a group coaching or mastermind program. We identified 3 months. We talked in February, but we actually started the mastermind practice movement in March, April, and May, and there was no charge for this trial period. I was hoping that everyone would have their mastermind up and running by June, or at least a really good idea of what their mastermind's going to look like by June. And then at the end of the year, we would get back together and just check up on each other and see how our businesses are going. It's been about 10-11 weeks, and my initial impression was that our progress wasn't going fast enough. I didn't think we had built a fast-paced momentum. We weren't going at the pace that I really wanted to, and so this tells me that in my larger group, I'm going to have 8 to 10 people in my group. The progress may even be slower. 10 weeks into this Practice Mind membership with 4 members, after 10 weeks we had no discernible results until we actually embedded a deadline so that we could present our work. On May 7th, we identified a hot seat meeting, and I asked everybody to give a 10-minute presentation on their current mastermind program. This actually worked, and so the lesson I'm walking away with is to actually include show and tell in my mastermind group as a reasonable forcing function to progress. So I'm going to implement that into my regular mastermind group. Another lesson learned is, even though 3 months seems reasonable, I think my business mastermind group should be at least 6 months in length. That should be the shortest program, and then a year in length would be my regular program. And people took different levels of advantage of this opportunity. I thought this was a great opportunity to pull together our mastermind themes, our mastermind programs, and actually practice that stuff. And I realized that people were getting involved at different levels. 2 people took full advantage of this opportunity. They did the exercises. They kept up with the goals. They were really serious in attending every week's meeting. 2 people popped in and out, and when they missed a meeting, they didn't really schedule any time to review what they missed or do the homework assignments. And then 2 people dropped out completely. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is actually pretty natural, and this is why we're doing this. So my lessons learned is to really expect a similar ratio in my mastermind group, whether it's a larger group for 8 to 10, or I actually saw it in AG's group when he had 30, 33, 40 people in their group. He had about 33 people dropping out, 33% of the people dropped out, 33% of the people didn't attend the meetings, and 33% really took full advantage of what he was offering. So I think this is typical to any mastermind group. So I just need to acknowledge that this is what's going to happen, and not focus on the 66% of the people that may not meet their goals by dropping out or not attending, and focus on the 33% that are taking full advantage of the opportunity. One thing that did surprise me is that even when I did my best to communicate through emails and Facebook and chat lines and telephone calls, people still did not get the message. Here's an example. I did the May 7th hot seat event. I sent out a newsletter 2.5 weeks in advance, giving them fair warning, what I wanted to accomplish on that date, what that deadline meant, and I gave them 2.5 weeks to get used to the idea. After I sent that newsletter out, I called them individually, inviting them to the May 7th hot seat event and explaining what it's going to be and what we should expect out of it. Even after that, on April 23rd, I did a presentation and prep meeting for the hot seat during our regular mastermind meeting. Even when people didn't even if you missed the meeting, I had taped the presentation and pointed everybody to the presentation and encouraged them to review that presentation to prepare themselves for the hot seat. And even the week of the May 7th event, I sent out a follow-up email encouraging people to review the April 23rd video so that they could be prepared for the hot seat. Even after all those things, when I called people the day before on May 6th, I got comments like, "Oh yeah, I knew it was coming up. Is that tomorrow?" So, I was still surprised that people are still surprised when the deadline shows up. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your business mastermind group. There will be typically some people that won't keep up with it, won't keep up with the Facebook or the newsletters or the emails, and they may not attend the weekly meetings. So even if you announce and repeat yourself at the meetings, they may not even be there. So what this tells me is that some members in your mastermind group will not necessarily register the activities in your group as real items for their real lives, even though you know that doing the work and doing these items and these meetings should be, implemented in their real lives and should be really important to their business and personal goals and success. But some of the members in your group will not recognize it as real items for their real lives, and they won't give it the same priority. So the lesson learned is, regardless of how hard you work at communicating your message, there will be people that are not informed and won't take notice. So, knowing that, if it's important to you, add that personal touch. Call them, text them. You may announce it at the meetings, but they may not attend. You may put it in email or newsletters or Facebook, but they may have too many other mail and messages going on. So take the next step. If it's really important to you, go out of your way to give the person a telephone call or in-person online chat or something. The other thing is that it's going to take you more time than you think. I did an experiment to see how long it would take for 4 people to electronically sign a simple NDA form. And, logically, I would think that's not a hard thing to do. It would be, I provided them a tool so that they can maybe experiment with it and see if they want to use it in their own mastermind group. It was an electronic digital signing of a contract form, an NDA form that they could probably use in their own mastermind group. but it actually took four people in our group. It actually took us 2 weeks to get everybody to electronically sign a simple NDA form. So that shows me, and this is after I reminded them in email, I texted them, I gave them a phone call. It still took 2 weeks to get everybody to sign that. So lesson learned from them is, this item is, what you think is a high priority item isn't necessarily a high priority for your members. So just, realize that something that you think will take, 1 day or a few minutes to do, it's going to take you more time to get the group to accomplish it. And this is only 4 people. So imagine if you had 10 people in the group. Imagine if you had 20 people in your group. It's going to take you a little bit more time. Another suggestion for things like the NDA in your contracts, make sure they sign it up front, when they're paying you and before they attend the first meeting. Make sure the signatures are a prerequisite to attending the first meeting. And this leads us to using carrots, kind of finding a motivation or enhancement or kind of rewarding them for doing some of these assignments. We had several attempts to do some homework or worksheets in between meetings. One person even asked us to send our notes on our technical tools that we used. I don't think she got much of a response, but what was interesting is even the person that facilitated and asked for that request for us to send her some technical notes on technical tools that we use, she was going to collect them all and give a final report, and she didn't even follow through on that. So assignments in between meetings rarely were completed and regularly ignored. So this lesson learned for me was to provide some time within the meeting for the members to do the work. So they may not be able to complete the assignment, but at least they'll get it started and they get excited about the work that they're doing. So that's one of the takeaways that I wrote down for myself. And then when I added a bonus when it was attached to the assignments, the assignment was met. I mean, people still waited until the last moment to do it, but it got done. So if you have you're planning to give gifts and bonuses throughout your membership program, I would recommend attaching them to some kind of accomplishment or a performance. If the person's not doing the work and not keeping up and not participating, why reward that type of behavior? Reward the behavior that you want repeated. Another way to use bonuses and gifts are for people that, invite others to your meetings or invite others to your mastermind group or invite others to call you for a discovery call. So that's a nice way to thank those people for giving some referrals. Another thing is, don't take it too seriously. People are not going to take your mastermind group as seriously as you do. I know, if you're like me, you feel like, hey, I'm giving these assignments not just to give assignments, but, if you do the work, you're going to get to your goals a lot faster than not doing the work. And, you're not just giving these exercises because you want to. You just really feel that, these steps are really going to help your clients and your members. But, you want to realize that, just because you feel that strongly towards the mastermind group, the people within the group don't necessarily take it as seriously as you do. So the lesson learned is, don't bend over backwards for them. Instead, use upsell triggers and have them pay the higher paying and higher valued packages. For instance, if they need more time to do the work and they're not doing it on their own, offer them an upsell package that says, hey, I'll actually do the work with you. Let's schedule some time together on a one-on-one coaching package and we'll work on it together, kind of stuff. So use that as an opportunity to upsell. Another thing is just get really comfortable in repeating yourself. Even if you've told them at the meeting several times, if you repeated it and included it in your newsletters and you placed it on your Facebook pages and you email them regularly, people are going to ask you again. We talked about people not keeping up with the newsletters and the emails and the Facebook, so naturally they're going to ask you questions. So a lesson learned is just proactively repeat yourself, and then do your best and just expect to be asked again. No big deal. Another thing that really was clear to me is something that AG always talked about, is that people don't value things that are free. They think a free equals not valuable. Most people that pay the least often expect the most. Most people's effort often match what they are monetarily putting in. It's about, how much skin in the game do they have. If they're not putting any money into it, they're not going to put much effort into it. And free programs don't work for most people because most people don't work the program. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy there. They don't think much of free programs because they don't put much into free programs. So the lesson learned here is just set boundaries from the start. Decide what and what you will not do for this group of people. This is a mistake I think that AG made. He was not explicit in what he was going to offer the mastermind group. He wasn't explicit in the expectations, what people needed to bring to the table, what he was going to bring to the table, and he didn't do this up front. So we need to do it up front in contracts and NDAs and get people's signature and make sure they understand what they're getting out of the group, what they can expect from the group, and what the group expects from them. If you get that from the start. Otherwise, people are going to be dissatisfied. Reuse and repackage. Even though I mentioned before that most of your people, like 66% of the people in your group, will not religiously attend your meetings. They won't study your recordings. They won't watch your videos, etc., etc. But still record them. Still create them. Create them with productization in mind. Think about how to package and reuse this material for future classes, for future certification programs, for the next level of your mastermind group. Keep your return on investment in mind. Keep upselling in mind. Even if this is a free program, use these items to upsell and upgrade your other paid for bundles and packages. You may say, okay, this paid for package is, $999, but look at all the stuff that you get. And so then you add all your free programs within that bundle, and your fair market value could be, you can announce that the fair market value is really $1,200, but you're getting it for, $997. Also, focus on the higher level purpose. Just don't focus on, I want to help this group of people achieve their goals, because you're going to be disappointed, because we talked about it earlier that 66% of the people in this group will not meet your expectations. 33% will drop out, 33% won't attend the meetings, and only a third of that group is actually going to meet your expectations. So don't just focus on helping this group of people. Instead, use each meeting and interaction and group exchange to create the next level of programs. Be supportive, but at the same time, detach from the results. Provide them the tools, but don't take on the responsibility of doing their work for them or forcing them to do the work, because people are going to find an excuse not to excel. So keep that in mind in your mastermind group. In regards to a guest speaker, instead of choosing a topic specific to your mastermind group, choose a topic that is of interest and supportive to your mastermind group, but also interest to an outside your target market, your target client, the bigger pool. And then open your mastermind group to include these other interested parties. This is really a win-win because it's an opportunity to expose your mastermind group to these other people. These other people will come in to meet your guest speaker, but they will also meet your other mastermind members. They will feed off the energy of your group, and then they will get exposed to you and excited about joining your mastermind group. So it's a good win-win-win, because it's a win for the speaker, because instead of just speaking to 4 people, he's speaking to 15 people or 20 people. It's a win for the audience because they're getting great information on things they really need to propel themselves forward. And it's a win for you because you're building your reputation with the speaker and a new set of audiences. A quick tip: make sure everything you do leads to the next step, leads to the client for their next step, and call to action, and that call to action is actually part of your next program, your next item in your product funnel, something that you can provide them. This means, every presentation, speaking engagement, and even your offer. One offer, when they complete this mastermind group, what are they going to do next? And then that means you need to have something already lined up for them to go. Where are they going to go? Make sure you already have that lined up and clearly defined. And make sure your call to action step is actually something within your product funnel. If you want some help in defining your product funnel, we can set up a 3-hour get it done blitz and just knock it out of the park at that time. This also includes the bonus. We talked earlier about giving bonuses and gifts. I recommend even your bonus or gift be a lead-in to something that you're selling, and your next level program, or your next level retreat, or your next level mastermind group. For example, when we were doing the hot seat, I tried to entice people to show up and get their mastermind program written down on paper to present by May 7th. And I try to entice everybody with the on-the-air 30-minute interview specifically on your products and on your business. And it's going to be on Blog Talk Radio, so it's not just confined to the people that it's going to be on the Blog Talk Radio market. So it's not just the people that that is going to hear it. It's going to be people on the Blog Talk Radio listing. So that really opens and expands your exposure. So, when you take advantage of that, what are you going to do with that? I'm going to tell you, hey, now you can download the MP3 off of that. You can put it on your Facebook. You can put it in your newsletter. It can be a part of your sales page. You can attach it to a graphic and create a video off of it and include that on your web pages. There are a lot of things that you can do with it. And then they're going to say, wow, that's great, but how do I exactly do that? And I'm going to say, well, we're actually going to be talking about that at the next boardroom in January. Why don't you come to that and learn more about that? Or, hey, let's set up a 3-hour get it done blitz and we'll walk through it and I'll do it with you. So, make sure even your bonus gifts leads them to someplace else. Client retention. Okay, consider offering 2-for-1 offers. In my business mastermind group, I'm going to be offering a power duo package, which means, the client is invited to bring along a guest, a coworker, a business partner, a family or friend to share their mastermind seat. So it's a 2-for-1 offer. It really provides a natural accountability partnership between the two. They'll be able to succeed faster. Part of the problem doing everything remotely or virtual, it's, you're supposed to be building a community, but it's not really tangible. If they're working or sharing a seat with a partner that they bring in themselves, that's something very tangible that they can work together with. It also introduces a new person to your services and your programs. If they bring in a new person to be their power duo partner. Patricia actually mentioned, allowing members to return for a second and third go round in the mastermind group at a discount price. And I thought this was an fabulous idea. It really does several things. Number one, it's going to suggest client loyalty to the new members, and the new members are going to say, wow, this must be a quality program. If Joe is attending for the third time, he must really get a lot out of it. And even if you've sat through it twice, you're still going to get something new out of it. It also gives the new members some internal mentors and support coaches within the environment. They could go to a person that's already been through the cycle once or twice before, and all this additional support has no additional time or effort on your part. That's just inherent in how it's set up. The people that are more experienced in the group will naturally help the people that are new to the group, and vice versa. The experienced people can learn something from the new people as well, because the new people are going to bring some new perspective. And it also builds some client loyalty in the returning clients, because when the clients return, they have more confidence. They can visually see, where the new members are, and they go, oh yeah, I remember when I looked at it exactly like they are, or I remember when I was exactly at their same point, and heck, look how far I've gotten from where I was to where I am now. So it's a really good idea. I like that idea. So thank you, Patricia, for passing that along to us. Another thing that I'm going to throw out is for client retention is maybe, if somebody hasn't tried a mastermind group before, maybe offer them a free trial. If it's a year event, maybe offer them a 30-day trial period, or if it's a 6-month event, maybe a 15-day trial period, so that they can get their feet wet and see what a mastermind group is all about, and then they may feel more comfortable staying. Okay, that's about it. The real reason why I wanted to put together this lesson learned package right now is because I'm going to be stepping away from the Practice Mastermind in June. This means May 28th will be my last day at attending the meetings. This does not mean that you guys need to stop on May 28th and you can't go beyond June. Of course you can. The calendars are there. You can add more calendar dates to that. You've got the Google Drive set up. You can put files there. You can share files. You have your own way of communicating. The Facebook is out there. You can still add stuff to the Facebook. You can do everything you need to do to continue this. I'm just not going to be at the meetings and participating in it because I'm stepping away to start my paid mastermind group in June. But I think I've added a lot to the group. I've shown you a lot of tools. I've not only shown you or pointed you to tools, but I incorporated the use of those tools within our mastermind practices. I introduced you to the electronic signatures. We did Google Hangout together, showed you how to do the Google Hangout. We did the teleconference share screen stuff. There are a lot of things that I felt comfortable sharing with you. And if you'd like further help in rolling out your own individual business mastermind event and think I can help, let's talk about, getting together for a 3-hour get it done blitz with me. And we could talk about that and just get it all tied up for you. Because the sooner you get it done, the sooner you can charge for this and the sooner you can start making money. But in the meantime, I wanted to let you guys know that I really enjoyed working with you guys. You ladies are great, and thank you for playing in this playground with me. I'll talk to you later.